Thank you for staying with us. We're turning the spotlight on the African Democratic Congress, the ADC, and its place in Nigeria's shifting political landscape. First, the party has stated that it has no preferred presidential candidate, and clearly political figures such as former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, and former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi are believed to be interested in ADC's presidential ticket in 2027. However, none of these individuals has publicly declared their intention to contest under the party. ADC spokesman Bolaji Abdullahi emphasized that the party has no hidden agenda regarding the selection of a candidate. Abdullahi stated that all aspiring presidential candidates will be given a fair opportunity to secure the party's ticket. But could the ADC emerge as a credible alternative? That's a big question tonight. And joining me on the program to break it all down is a youth leader, public affairs analyst with deep insight into opposition politics and party dynamics in Nigeria, Bunza. He joins me virtually from Benin Kebbi. Good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us and welcome to Politics Tonight.
Good evening.
All right. So today we saw former Governor Rotimi Amechi with some of his supporters. He has vowed to unseat President Tinubu in 2027. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar also has shown interest in running again. He is officially led to the PDP. He was in Gombe State speaking with stakeholders. Mr. Peter Obi is also showing interest. Former Governor Arigweshala has been seen mobilizing for the coalition in the south. So generally, with the emergence of the ADC in Nigeria's political landscape, what ideology or values set the ADC apart from other political parties? Do you see the party as a genuine ideological alternative or just another party?
Well, good evening, viewers. ADC is an upcoming party in this system. When we talk about politics, politics is a game of interest. And that is what our present so-called coalition leaders are into. Most of these coalition leaders, if you look at them, they are a group of unhappy, let me to put it that way, unhappy politicians coming together with anger to fight the present administration. And politics doesn't work that way. We Nigerians were enlightened now. The mindset of our youth has started changing gradually. People always look at your scorecard, your antecedent. Most of these leaders of the coalition, if you talk about former Vice President Atiku Abubakar in Adamawa, former Governor of Rivers State, former Minister of Transport, recently he stepped out of the system 2 years ago. Then Peter Obi, he was a former governor, a former presidential candidate. All of them, they have been in that system. So what on earth are they coming to do different from what they have done? They have been given this opportunity, so we shouldn't be pulling Nigerians. And from about 25 years ago into the system, from 1990, politicians that want to come back into the system, they will keep telling Nigerians, things are not right. They want to rescue Nigeria from their fellow politicians.
Mr. Alviru, if you say these are unhappy politicians, what do you say to Nigerians who say the ADC's emergence was in response to public dissatisfaction with mainstream parties like the APC and PDP?
Yeah, in politics, it's very good in politics to have a strong opposition because it will put the ruling party upward on doing the right things. I'm not disputing that, but you don't do politics with anger. When you are not happy, most of them, if they find themselves in the system, you won't find them in the coalition. Let me tell you, let me give you an instance. There are former governors that wanted to be ministers. They were ministers in this administration. They were not given that opportunity, and that is why they turned their face back from the government and started going around the nation for this coalition. There are former ministers that served for 8 years. They just stepped out 2.5 years ago, and they are coming back now. They're saying things are not right.
But I'm sure you've heard some of them say they were marginalized and that the APC has shifted from the core ideals of the founding party, of the founding fathers, rather.
Yeah, every aspiration come with manifesto. What are the manifestos of APC? They should tell us. You shouldn't be hiding anything now. This is politics. This is Nigeria. They should open up. Okay, this is what our manifesto, this is our agreement with the present administration. And they have deviated from our agreement. They are not doing so, they are not doing that, and that is why we are doing that. They kept on saying, I saw the unveiling of ADC, of this coalition. I saw that live. They were always, they are just talking that Nigerians are hungry. Every politician want to take advantage of the masses for them to show sympathy on the masses, so that they can have their support, because the new politics is a game of number and the numbers are the masses. So we shouldn't be deceiving these masses. It's high time we focus on development. Let's focus on this Nigeria. Nigeria is a great nation. We have to come together and build a strong, formidable Nigeria for our tomorrow, not for our today. We have younger ones. As young as I am, most of them, some of them are off to 75 years, 80 years, 70 years. What do they want to come and do? Somebody that is retired, you see, 60 years is enough for somebody to retire and relax and be guiding the younger.
So, Mr. Alira, agreeably, politics is a game of numbers. And, you know, the APC has also continued to say the coalition lacks structure. Yet it involves well-known national figures. And over time, I've asked the party spokesperson and other chieftains if this is enough to build a strong national presence before 2027. But as a youth leader and from your observatory point of view, what factors may have contributed to the ADC's increased visibility in recent times? Would you say the party has effectively differentiated itself from the dominant APC and PDP?
No, it's just like that, you know, at times, most of the times when opposition come in newly, people will be more interested on seeing what have they come with. Is it different from the one we have been seeing? And that is why they are making so much noise, and people are kept following their noises, still people are watching them, wanted to know what are you coming with, what are you coming to the game with? You understand? Because let me tell you, for instance, the first coalition, it was in 2015 when led President Muhammadu Buhari and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come together and said, let us meet together, let us set our differences aside, and let us fight for the governance of Nigeria, for the betterment of our masses. And that is the first coalition. When that coalition came in, everybody kept his interest aside. But this coalition we're talking about, everybody came with his own interest. If you can recall, after that declaration, there was a fight between the leadership, the original leadership of the party, ADC, and the incoming structure that want to hijack their structure. They went to court, and there is a court case on that. Forget about that. When you talk about this present coalition, this coalition came, and people of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar are fighting with people of former Governor Peter Obi, former presidential candidate of the Labour Party. And people of Rotimi Amechi are fighting with people of Peter Obi. So people are saying it's a turn for the South-South, while others are saying no, it's for the North. It's the time for the North. So Turaki Adama is the best candidate and has the best chance of winning the election. If you say you come to coalition, you will keep all your interests aside and focus on what the target is defeating the incumbent administration.
So that will lead me to my next question, because I mean, also we've all agreed that Nigeria cannot afford a one-party system. So how can emerging parties like the ADC survive and thrive in a political system, you know, dominated by money politics and political godfathers?
Yeah, all these politicians that went to this coalition of ADC, they are all political godfathers. They have their followers, and they have their followers from the national to the state level to local government level. Like in my state, they have their followers, and these followers, some of them are merging off with some people of People Democratic Party and part of Labour Party. But most of them decided not to go anywhere. We want to remain in our party. We don't agree on leaving our party, shifting to another party. So you see, even their godfatherism of politics, most of their followers, they are not going to follow them. Most of them prefer being in the party they used to be. So PDP members are co-PDP members from 1999. They didn't shift an inch to another party. Let's take for an instance, in Northwest, we have former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido. He was in the coalition unveiling, but later on he came back. I don't know what came into his mind. He said, see, I cannot leave PDP. We are the co-founder of this party, and this party is better structured than any party that I'm going to. So it's a signal that something came after that coalition unveiling, because after the coalition unveiling, the show of interest started manifesting, and that is why we still have better parties around that are checkmating the ruling party. But instead of these politicians to join those parties so that they will fight for the betterment of what they think is better than what we are having now. But they think that they will not get what they want in those parties. So let them shoot and move to another party and hijack that party. So there are a lot of intrigues in that, which we politicians are watching with keen interest.
Mr. Liru, would you consider it a fact or an opinion when people say perhaps President Tinubu has not yet built deep trust among northern elites, hence the resistance from people like Babachi Lawal, El Rufai, Tambo, and the likes?
Well, they are not the leaders of the North. We have better people that you should have questioned and you should have interviewed. We have leaders in the North. These people are just, they are within the system.
I'm talking about leaders. We saw one of your leaders from Kebbi State, that drain, Abubakar Malami, former Attorney General of the Federation, who has, recently dumped the APC for the ADC. And many are wondering if this move is a personal, can you hold on, sir? If this move is a personal political calculation or just a reflection of wider dissatisfaction within APC in Kebbi State. Were you surprised by his decision, especially given his former position as a key member of the APC?
From the beginning of this program, I called them a gathering of unhappy politicians. They are just unhappy with the system because they are not getting what they want. We have, if you talk about leaders, political leaders in Kebbi State, we have a like of former Attorney General Chikamalem. We have hundreds of them that have been there before him and they are still there. So one person, if you pick one person out of hundreds, is not a minus. And so it's just to wake the other leaders of that. Okay, see, this is the interest of, you can't just move. That is a self-interest, self-centered politicians that you are talking about. Because when they were in the system, there are a lot of things that have been happening that manifested when they were in the system, but they matured and we're seeing their negative impact now. This government is trying as much as possible to tackle all these issues instead of to join us together. It's not yet.
Sadly, we're out of time, Mr. Liru. But as a youth leader, what should be the priorities of opposition parties in Nigeria if they're serious about creating change?
Their priority they should keep their individual interests aside. Let them put Nigeria first. Let them come together, reason together, put prepared candidates, people will accept, Nigerians will accept, then they can give a good fight for the ruling party. But what I'm seeing on this coalition, there is nothing too good coming out of it.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. It's been nice having this conversation with you. Youth leader, public affairs analyst, Aliyu Haliru Bunza. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Right. It's a 30-minute conversation tonight, and so that marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at 12:30 a.m. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG, and at Olajumoke. We're using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News NG. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Good night, everyone.